Kodaka Hasegawa, recent transfer student to Street Chronica's academy, has trouble making friends due to his scary appearance. He remembers the negative impression he first made when he arrived late on his first day. However, one day when Kodaka went to go get his June uniform, he encounters his classmate, Yozora Mikazuki, talking to an imaginary friend named Tomo. Kodaka finds it strange since Yozora is usually depressed and walks in, exposing her secret. As they both talk about their troubles in making friends, Kodaka gives Yozora the idea about creating a club. The next day, Yozora drags Kodaka over to her newly created club called the Neighbors Club, dedicated to help people make friends. Kodaka is skeptical of the club's objectives but joins Yozora in posting recruitment posters. As they conclude their activities, another student named Sena Kashiwazaki comes to join. Yozora shuts the door on her, labeling her as the perfect girl, but Sena forces herself in as she's wanting friends. Yozora questions Sena's popularity with the boys, but Sena replies that they are actually only her doormats and she wants actual true friends. As Yozora and Sena argue for the afternoon, Kodaka makes note of the club's statistics. Yozora then decides that the first Neighbors Club activity is to play an action role-playing game dealing with hunting monsters to improve their friendship. As such, Yozora looked around and found a group of friends playing together, thinking it was a way to make friends. At the next meeting, all three members bring their copies in. Eventually, Sena shows off her rank, making Yozora angry as she checks her playtime. The conditions do not improve inside the game when Yozora and Sena attack each other during the game. Yozora and Sena constantly get in each other's way, leading all three of them to fail the mission. The next day, Sena sets up a TV and game console in the club room to play a gal game, which she claims is much better than a game about hunting monsters. As Sena plays through the game, Sena and Yozora choose the most negative response towards Akari, a pink-haired character, leaving Kodaka in question. As the game goes on, the negative responses affect Sena's progress with Yukiko, a blonde-haired character, leading to a sad ending for Sena. However, the next day, Sena shows a change of heart towards Akari when she completes all pathways in the game. She then hands the game over to Kodaka, demanding that he play and learn from the girls. Eventually, Sena is caught playing in a roge and insists it is not a sussy Bacon moment. Regardless, while trying to praise the story of the game, Yozora has Sena read the dialogue aloud to prove otherwise. As Sena reads a few lines, she panics and breaks down, running out of the clubroom crying. Later that night, Kodaka's little sister, Kobato Hasegawa, feels jealous that Kodaka is spending more time with the Neighbors Club than with her. So Kodaka thinks about Kobato's words the next day while watching Sena play another game. She then encounters Natsume, a green-haired character wearing a bathing suit in her game, and asks Kodaka to teach her how to swim, having not learned before. Kodaka accepts and gives her swimming lessons at a water park. Later, as Kodaka and Sena eat lunch, he finds it strange that Sena likes her nickname Meat, but Sena then gets herself into trouble when she insults some guys hitting on her, forcing Kodaka to help her out. Although Sena thanks Kodaka for saving her, Kodaka blames her for starting the argument. On the way home, Sena thinks about having a male confront her for the first time, as the incident also reminds Kodaka of a friend he once had as a child who taught him a lesson about friendship, something which Yozora finds seemingly familiar. Later, Kodaka meets the 10-year-old teacher, Maria Takayama, who is tricked by Yozora into becoming the club's faculty advisor. As Maria tries to reclaim her room and continuing to refuse being a faculty advisor, Yozora tricks Maria again by noting that adults can handle the job. As such, Maria accepts and Yozora welcomes Maria as a full club member. Later, Kodaka tells Yozora and Sena about his senses of being stalked, and when Yozora and Sena try to help, they only lower Kodaka's reputation. However, Kodaka later catches the stalker, an effeminate boy named Yukimura Kusunoki, who sees Kodaka as a role model and notes that everyone sees him as a girl. Yozora then lets Yukimura join the club for him to study about Kodaka and become somewhat manly, so Yukimura accepts and starts serving Kodaka. The next day, Kodaka saves a scientist named Rika Shiguma after she collapses in a chemistry lab. She finds Kodaka shortly afterwards and wants to repay him somewhat promiscuously. Rika joins the Neighbors Club, where it is revealed that she is also fascinated with dirty magazines, particularly involving mecha, much to Yozora's dissatisfaction. The next day, on noticing that Maria eat nothing but chips, Kodaka decides to start making healthy lunches for her. As such, Kobato feels jealous because it appears that Kodaka is prioritizing Maria over her. Then, when Kodaka gives Maria lunch, he learns that Yozora awards Maria with chips whenever she does something for her. Maria, satisfied after eating Kodaka's lunch, starts calling Kodaka her big brother. Later, Sena completes another dating sim and wishes that she could be inside a game, so Rika whips out a virtual reality game console and has everyone try out a better release of a role-playing game. As they pick their character class, they have mixed feelings about their assigned costumes and abilities. Everything goes well in the beginning as they gain abilities and level up. However, the boss stage does not go according to plan because Maria falls asleep and goes offline. Yozora then sabotages Sena so that she gets defeated, while Sena tickles Yozora in revenge. After the game ends in defeat, Kodaka is surprised to find that Kobato was playing Maria's character. It's revealed that she had come to the club room to see him because she was feeling too detached from her brother. She then immediately clashes with Maria, and Yozora decides to accept Kobato as another member. Later that night, Kobato sneaks into Kodaka's bed, stating that she is Kodaka's only sister. Kodaka then wakes up with Kobato in his bed after a dream about his childhood friend, where he did not get the chance to say goodbye to before he moved. Later, at the neighbors' club, the members reflect on their progress of making friends so far. Kodaka and Sena believe their reputation has dropped since attending the club, but as they continue to discuss activities they engaged in after joining the club, Sena asks if the other members ever been to a karaoke box. Although Kodaka has been to one before, Yozora shares her past experience of going to numerous karaoke boxes citywide, making the other members interested in going to a karaoke box. Sena initially declines and calls this an unsophisticated activity, but after Yozora starts making plans for the others, Sena pleadingly agrees to join in. At the lobby of the karaoke box, Yozora argues with the clerk over the pricing system as she feels they have been cheated. After the negotiations, Yozora and Sena choose to rent separate rooms while Kodaka and the others share a room themselves. After karaoke, Kodaka and the others, exhausted from singing, find Sena and Yozora already in the lobby. Apparently, the two found a way to compete in karaoke through the scoring mode. Nevertheless, as they walk home, Sena tells Kodaka that her father is interested in meeting him, making Yozora feel jealous. As summer rolls in, Kodaka asks Yukimura to provide Maria with her lunches in his place, though Yukimura misinterprets what qualifies as healthy food, leading to Yukimura overdosing Maria with dietary supplements. As such, Kodaka, later realizing that the club members do not always show up on a regular basis in the summer, suggests finding another way to keep in contact. With message boards and social networking services quickly rejected, Rika suggests the idea of using their cell phones. Rika and Yukimura then quickly exchange contact information through infrared wireless, while Yozora and Kodaka manually enter their contact information, having been almost completely unaware of their cell phone's capabilities. When Kodaka asks Sena for her contact information, Sena reveals that she neither has a cell phone nor needs one. So Yozora teases Sena by making a call in front of her with meat jokes, making her angry. Later, Sena calls Kodaka in the middle of the night, asking for the make and model of his cell phone. The next day, after Kodaka reads numerous sussy text messages from Rika, Sena arrives in the afternoon with a newfound cell phone identical to Kodaka's phone. Thus, Yozora spams Sena's cell phone and becomes jealous when Sena comes to Kodaka for help. With the air conditioner in Kodaka's house broken, Kobato takes inspiration from an episode of her favorite vampiric anime and wears normal clothes suited to the weather. She then accompanies Kodaka to the club room, where she clashes with Maria again after Maria calls Kodaka her big brother, leading her to bite Maria out of anger. Believing that she has been possessed by a vampire, Yozora tells her to run into the sun, in which she does, only to be disciplined. Afterwards, Kobato gets showered with attention by Sena, who wants to try to befriend her. After losing to another gal game in which a shark eats up Mizuki, the brunette main character, Sena tells everyone that she wants to go to the pool, yet she unintentionally reveals that she once went with Kodaka alone. As such, Kodaka quickly covers up by inviting the entire club to go to the pool. On the way to the pool, the club members find it overcrowded with people due to an ongoing half-price offer. Eventually, the crowd proves to be too much for Yozora and Rika, who decide to head home early. Kodaka, upon hearing the news, chases after them only to see them leaving in the shuttle bus. He then turns around to face the rest of the club, who all decide to leave for home.